a nation in mourning, a king on the verge of unraveling. What did Queen Elizabeth's final words hold that could bring a sovereign to his knees? An unseen letter, shrouded in regal secrecy, has the power to alter the course of the monarchy forever. This tale begins in the quiet corridors of Buckingham Palace, where a single envelope awaits its destiny. Before we go deeper into what this really means for the royal family, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single update. The atmosphere is cloaked in solemnity, as the echoes of Queen Elizabeth's enduring legacy reverberate across the world. The nation, draped in black, grapples with the gravity of her loss while preparing for the dawn of a new era under a yet uncertain Charles. But within the sanctuary of Buckingham Palace lies a secret, pulsating with the urgency of revelation. In a corner of the late Queen's boudoir, obscured by velvet drapes, a letter has been unearthed, a missive that captures the fascination and fear of the palace staff. A searing artifact from the past, its presence alone ignites a powder keg of speculation. What deep-rooted truths could be contained in a document marked by Queen Elizabeth's emblematic seal, entrusted only to the eyes of her son, King Charles? Whispers meander through the corridors, a chorus of speculation weaving a narrative of intrigue that tightens its grip around the fragile heart of the monarchy. Some say it speaks of confessions long buried, others posit it decodes the mysteries of the bloodline. Such musings only accentuate the loneliness of King Charles, who stands at a precipice, his mother's shadow an omnipresent force, both comforting and confining. He finds himself ensnared in a web of expectation, each thread a reminder of his perceived inadequacies. In this echo chamber of doubt, the parchment becomes both a beacon of hope and a harbinger of doom. Torn by the weight of his looming coronation, Charles battles the ghosts of uncertainty. This is not merely a fight for the crown, it is a struggle for identity, for agency. The letter, enigmatic and serene, offers no solace, only questions that swell within his mind, demanding answers he fears the most. It is a crossroads, and Charles must make a choice, a solitary pursuit to unveil his mother's final thoughts, an encounter with vulnerability that could reshape his soul and by consequence the fate of the monarchy itself. Ultimately, the decision is made with trembling resolve. In the solitude of night, with the palace sleeps under star-strewn skies, Charles holds the letter within his grasp. His fingers graze over the seal, a tactile connection to the woman who has guided his every step. The room is silent, save for the ragged breath of anticipation, as he breaks the whispered barrier. The narrative unfurls, and with each word, the magnitude of his mother's legacy looms larger. It is in this moment, teetering on the brink of revelation, he comes face to face with the seismic tremors of his impending transformation. As Charles unseals the envelope, the weight of his mother's legacy bears down, threatening to forever change his reign before it even begins. A moment of profound silence is shattered by the revelations within. Stripped of his regal armor, King Charles faces a tempest of words that question the very fabric of his destiny. What truths did his mother leave behind, and why was this the moment she chose to reveal them? King Charles clutches the letter, his fingers trembling ever so slightly in the dim light of his study. The weight of the royal seal broken at last, revealing its hidden depths. Queen Elizabeth's handwriting, a delicate script of authority, opens with tales veiled in historical mystery. Each word thunders with the gravity only a queen could muster, outlining decisions cloaked in careful disguise, yet pivotal enough to shape entire history books. Her narrative is not of grandeur or defeat, but a calculated crafting of a public facade, a kind of regal theater that kept her subjects at bay. Yet beneath the surface, subtle hints of regret seep through, like whispers of specters past. Elizabeth speaks not just of triumphs but of an understated melancholy, choices that loom like shadows long after the fact. There is a lingering undertone, a sense that some victories were mere offsets against guilt-laden defeat, battles fought within the confines of her own heart. Each line crackles with unsaid emotions, the eternal burden of a ruler bound to the crown and the kingdom's will. Amidst this dense web of reflections, the unsettling whisper of a burden of knowledge emerges, a secret inheritance passed down through regal lineages, growing with each transition of sovereign power. It is a legacy of truths too perilous for open courts, truths that have shaped her, informed her every judgment, and now hang heavy over Charles like a cloud of foreboding. For King Charles, These words are a tumultuous storm awash with anger and betrayal. In confession after confession, grievances long buried pry their way into his consciousness, revealing a tapestry woven with secrets and obfuscations that he was never meant to unravel. His stoic veneer cracks under the strain of revelations about his own past, one rewritten with the ink his mother's hand chose so deliberately to wield. How does one rise from a shadow long cast across every path laid out before them? In a moment of heightened intensity, the letter bears its most shocking confession. Elizabeth names a confidant an unlikely figure who played a significant role in her reign but stayed veiled to Charles. As the unlikely guardian to Elizabeth's truths, this person held sway over critical junctures, casting doubt over where the Queen ended and the confidant began. It is a revelation that sends ripples through his understanding of family and trust, leaving Charles grappling with disbelief. Standing at this crossroad of identity and legacy, Charles must confront a deeply personal conundrum. Doubts cloud his mind as he begins to question his own readiness to lead. Can he ever truly step out from under his mother's shadow, or will he simply become another link in this burdensome chain of inheritance? As the words blur on the page, the unraveling thread of his mother's past foreshadows the complex tapestry waiting to ensnare King Charles in its snare. Who held sway over the Queen's decisions at the heart of the British monarchy? The revelation of an unexpected ally upends King Charles's understanding of his mother's reign, casting new light on lives spent in the gilded cage of royalty. Prepare for revelations that may shatter long-held perceptions of queenly solitude. In the shadowed halls of royal power, where whispers carried the weight of tradition, a seemingly inconspicuous figure stood at the intersection of duty and discretion. A family friend who had, for decades, appeared merely as another dutiful servant in the glittering machinery of the monarchy. Yet, beneath the surface of polite conventions, this confidant held the keys to a vault of secrets, his whispers ricocheting through the corridors of influence, compelling as they were unforeseen. As the veil began to lift, a tapestry of intertwined destinies emerged, revealing the confidant's origins deeply rooted in the fabric of the monarchy. He was no ordinary courtier, he was a stalwart presence at every significant milestone during Elizabeth's reign. From the festivities and pageantry of jubilees to the solemn trials of statecraft and familial discord, his shadow loomed, casting a curious light on moments once thought to be firmly under the solitary reign of the Queen. Pages of personal letters, yellowed with time, painted stories of clandestine meetings held in secret rooms. There, amidst antique armoires and heirloom tapestries, the Queen, in rare but revealing candor, found counsel and companionship. The divisions between sovereign and subject blurred to fleeting moments of common humanity, written in ink and trust. Motives, however, lingered in the air like unsolved riddles. Was this relationship forged in the fires of genuine friendship, or did the confidant play the long game, maneuvering through the chessboard of royal authority with eyes on the ultimate prize, undue influence? Arguments whispered in the wind, as pieces of the story unfolded in the letters, a mosaic of loyalty, power, and possible exploitation. The truth was tantalizingly elusive, just enough to instigate a cascade of doubts. Acts of great consequence were reverberated by his secret advisory role, with the confidant's true identity embedded in decisions shaping not only the political landscape, but the personal lives within the palace walls. Familial rifts, once believed to be born from personal strife or political necessity, now wore the contours of intervention, his counsel intricately woven into the warp and weft of monarchical decision-making. For King Charles, this revelation was a blow a crack in the once steadfast belief of his family's singularity in decision and path. The confidant was not merely an enigma, he was a mirror reflecting unfulfilled assurances and unexpected truths. Amidst the echoes of trust and betrayal, Charles realizes the past is no longer a closed chapter, it has forcefully bled into the present, bringing new uncertainties. The light cast by his mother's reign bore shadows deepened by concealed influences. Now, in the unyielding clarity of discovery, Charles faced the mantle of his inheritance not solely as royal duty, but as a legacy fraught with unseen hands and unknown allegiances. He stood at the edge of a precipice, contemplating not just his mother's rule, but the road ahead, a journey woven into an annal of trust, newly reframed by the confidant's unseen hand. Amidst whispers of secrets and shadows, King Charles must now confront a staggering reality. Has the throne always been built on a foundation of deceit? Each sentence of his mother's letter uncovers a new layer of the royal facade, leaving Charles caught between legacy and identity. The ink blots on the aged parchment serve as a cruel metaphor for the stains on what was believed to be an impeccable legacy. It is a marvel that paper, so delicate and ephemeral, could hold the weight of truths and deceptions that have sustained an empire. As Charles reads, the past converges with the present, unraveling a fabric woven with intent. The letter delves deeper into deliberate omissions from historical records, orchestrated not by external forces, but from within the hallowed halls of the monarchy itself. Queen Elizabeth's hand steady, decisive crafted narratives that went unchallenged, presenting a monarchy untarnished by scandal. Each word breathes life into shadows long kept at bay, casting doubt on the veracity of every commemorated event, every celebrated decree. The legacy of a reign once unblemished now flickers in the dim candlelight of his late mother's confessions. Queen Elizabeth's reflections reveal critical decisions, exposing how she meticulously rewrote royal history. Untruths, casually presented as facts, had been the bedrock of the monarchy's pristine facade. Her confessions lay bare a calculated chess game where the monarchy was both the player and the pawn, stories entwined with delicate manipulations and unquestionable loyalty to the crown above all else. Charles, caught in the throes of this revelation, must now navigate the tumultuous waters of truth and illusion, his idealized memories of his mother warring with these newfound revelations. Emotion thickens the air as Charles grapples with the idea that his understanding of the woman who shepherded a nation was at odds with the stark reality of her orchestrations. He stares at words that speak of narratives precisely molded, moments erased from the annals of royal history. The roles of senior royals, including Charles himself, are questioned within the context of orchestrated narratives, casting long shadows on familial bonds that once seemed unbreakable. An institution revered for its stability suddenly appears fragile, its walls held up by tales and pretenses. Hints of scandal slip through the Queen's elegant script, her acknowledgement of highly sensitive controversies surrounding the palace a jolt to the heart. If the sovereign, the matriarch of the monarchy, knew and allowed such delicate matters to go unaddressed, what remains sacred in their hallowed corridors? Questions rise like an unyielding tide, and Charles is left pondering whether these lies were a necessary evil, a shield against the harsh glare of public scrutiny, or an unforgivable betrayal of a son's trust and a nation's faith. With a heart burdened by this newfound knowledge, King Charles seeks glimpses of truth amidst the labyrinthine deceit, his reign teetering upon fragile truths and unspoken words. The throne he once aspired to inherit now seems less a monument of strength and more a fragile construct of artifice and silence. Faced with myriad paths forward, Charles must decide which story he will choose to perpetuate, for history's pen is now in his hand. Caught in the crosshairs of legacy and truth, King Charles finds himself ensnared in a web of conflicting emotions, his heart a turbulent sea under a storm of revelations. The letter lies before him, a scrawled testament that threatens to uproot the very foundations of his understanding of his mother, Queen Eleanor, and her rule. Once a beacon of regality and steadfastness, her reign now looms as a shadow, its intricacies unraveling with each damning word. The implications swirl around him, a whirlwind of potential upheaval that could either renew the monarchy with fresh winds or shatter its age-old visage in a descent into chaos. As he sits quietly, the weight of his lineage tugs at his conscience, whispering of duty and consequence. Yet, amidst this storm, a haunting question lingers. How does one honor a legacy while beneath its burdensome shadow? Will Charles dare to embrace transformation, or will he become yet another keeper of tradition, locked in the gilded chains of history's expectations? His mind drifts back through corridors of memory, where past decisions lay like footprints on a windswept shore, each one a testament to roads taken under the watchful eyes of predecessors and advisors. As a prince, his path seemed prescribed, an unbroken line drawn from the throne to the heavens, boisterous with promises of grandeur but silent on the truths now laid bare. The expectations that he should carry the torch passed down through generations without hesitation or deviation were as heavy as the crown itself. Yet now, in this silent chamber filled with the ghosts of duty and obligation, he confronts another calling, one that challenges what he believed immutable. Every choice he has ever made, each nod to tradition, sits starkly in contrast with the truth unraveling before him. Each decision, once made with the righteous confidence of youth, now feels tainted with the grave realization of complicity. Within the palace walls, voices rise like a tumultuous chorus, each straining to guide, cajole, or warn their sovereign. Advisors vying for his ear, their counsel a cacophony of wisdom, and folly a kingdom's hymn sung in dissonant tones. Some urge the sanctity of silence, to shield the realm and its subjects from the harsh illuminations of change. Others whisper rebelliously of revolution, tempting him with visions of modernization and reform, of a monarchical evolution unshackled from the past. Yet, amid conflicting advice, doubt becomes his constant companion, each proposal a possible path yet none assured to satisfy his heart or legacy. In quiet moments when the palace sleeps under the watch of the stars, Charles ponders the image of the monarchy, its majesty, entwined with mystique and history, yet at risk of ossification. Should he seek to preserve its timeless fade, maintaining the delicate balance of tradition that has enthroned countless forebears? Or does the future demand he stand as a maverick, challenging the dynasty from within, painting the monarchy anew brighter and more reflective of the world it inhabits? This internal war wages relentlessly, and he hears and echoes his mother's voice, a spectral guide to his conscience, urging him to uphold the old doctrines. Her whispers advocate fidelity to what has been, leaving him suspended between hereditary loyalty and the call to forge his own legacy. With each passing moment, the realm holds its breath, awaiting the king's choice, a choice that may redefine the throne's purpose and legacy forever. As preparations for King Charles's coronation loom, a critical question echoes within the palace walls: can the crown withstand the weight of the truths unearthed? The path to coronation has always been paved with tradition and legacy, but now, secrets threaten to derail centuries-old customs. The grand rooms of the palace, once a sanctuary of solace and history, now buzz with whispers of unease. A gilded ceremony, promised to immortalize tradition, seems marred by the shadows of unspoken truths. The opulence surrounding Charles feels glaringly superficial, as he grapples with a tempest brewing within a tempest born of revelations too potent to ignore. As each gilded invitation is dispatched, the weight of expectation settles heavily upon his shoulders. Tradition demands poise, yet beneath the regal facade, Charles is a man at odds with himself. Advisors crowd him, insisting that dignity and legacy must shield the chaos of his heart. Family murmurs, equal parts comfort and coercion, dive deeper into his core, challenging him to uphold the sanctity of the crown against revelations that prowl the periphery, like specters poised to strike. To protect what is revered, Charles must first contend with the churning turmoil beneath his outward calm. The mounting pressure dances in tandem with swirling rumors. Palace staff speak in hushed tones of possible scandal, while the relentless press speculates wildly, hungry for cracks in the royal veneer. This undercurrent of tension threads its way through the halls, echoing forebodingly against the anticipation of timeless grandeur. It's a dance on a knife edge, a dangerous flirtation between secrecy and exposure, where one wrong move could unravel it all. As Charles reflects, memories flood his mind, a stark yet poignant reminder of his mother's coronation. Her dignity, uncompromised, unfurled amid a world of changing tides, her commitment to duty unwavering. Her ceremonial majesty, a scene forever etched into history, now juxtaposes against his own burgeoning ambivalence. She was a beacon amid tumult. He stands now, questioning whether to follow her light or chart a course into uncharted waters, where personal truth with a potent weight seeks acknowledgement. A family meeting unfolds, a conclave of whispered intentions and lowered gazes. Mother, father, siblings, all with perspectives as unique and conflicting as fingerprints. The room is teeming with silent negotiations, tacit battles over the future's course. Tradition, progress, honor, fear, all wage silent wars within these walls. The vision for the monarchy diverges down paths shadowed by doubt and the clamor for revolution, and in the center stands Charles, besieged by the competing clamor of expectation and introspection. Beyond the palace, a nation awaits, expecting not just a king but a symbol of constancy. Charles places one foot before the other, bound by public duties yet shackled by doubts. Applause greets him, reverberating through every appearance, but his heart listens instead to the unfolding dialogue within a dialogue starring personal conviction and public obligation in an unscripted duel. With the coronation date drawing near, a pivotal decision lies in wait, one that will either uplift the crown's future or tether it irrevocably to the past. Secrets carry consequences far beyond those who keep them. As King Charles faces the nation, the realm braces for revelations that could reshape the monarchy's role in British life. What will the king's newfound truths mean for a country tied to an ancient institution? Within the echoing corridors of the United Kingdom, whispers of a secret veiled in mystique and burdened with consequence begin to roll across the land like a gathering storm. As tendrils of rumors seep from the elusive confines of the monarchy's innermost sanctum into the public domain, the nation's heartbeat quickens, collectively holding its breath as it teeters on the precipice of revelation. Whispers dart from corner to corner, carried by the winds of anticipation, each murmur a symphony of suspense set against the backdrop of British constancy. In the eyes of millions waiting, the letter, spoken of in hushed, reverent tones, becomes a prism through which the future of a nation might be refracted, promising change as powerful as the tides that shape its shorelines. As these stories swirl ominously, the monarchy's firmament is cast under a spotlight of scrutiny, its age-old foundations tested against the weight of contemporary currents. Each question lifted by the wind seems to split the country into a mosaic of discordant colors, divides once silenced by tradition now starker than ever. Eyes from every corner of the Commonwealth gaze inward, reflecting on the monarchy's indelible imprint upon Britain's identity. It is a tapestry woven with threads of grandeur and shadows of ambiguity, and now it must endure a trial orchestrated by evolving societal beats. As a nation stands on the brink of redefinition, its people must confront these divides, examining whether the ties of ancestry should bind or adapt, or both, to a future yet unseen. Yet not all is starkly divided. Among the many voices that rise, some rally behind the whispers of reform. Their faith in King Charles is a flickering light of hope for a more modern, adaptable monarchy. They dream of a future that honors its past without being shackled by it, where tradition and progress march as allies, not adversaries. But others, rooted in a cherished past, clutch tightly to the sands of time, fearing these changes may untether past certainties, mistaking adornment for abdication. Their voices, though laced with resistance, add a poignant depth to the debate, underscoring the cultural crosshatch of a kingdom in conversation with its legacy. In this tumult of voices, the media serves as a mirror to the kingdom's soul, reflecting and refracting perspectives as complex as the society it serves. Key voices, from the bold clarity of the morning papers to the nuanced debates of nightly broadcasts, orchestrate a national dialogue that reaches into homes and hearts across the aisles. Each headline and hushed comment contributes to a vast dynamic canvas, where the only certainty is change. And in the heart of this dialogue stands King Charles, a monarch poised at the edge of history, the weight of countless ancestors resting on his shoulders as he prepares to face his people. In his mind, a speech forms, each word a potential fulcrum on which the royal family's legacy teeters. He knows the power of his forthcoming address, words that will ripple outward to embrace or estrange a watchful nation. Beyond the public eye, within the palace's whispering halls, an unexpected faction stirs. A familial force emerges from the shadows draped in tradition, their voices unexpectedly aligned with calls for transparency and change. Brief as a stray beam of sunlight cutting through the clouds, this alignment fuels Charles's internal conflict, a whisper shared among those cloistered within the monarchy's embrace, a sign that even the oldest foundations may yield to time's inexorable procession. As the day of the grand proclamation dawns, the legacy of an ancient lineage hangs on the cusp of transformation or dissolution. Alongside the gathering clouds of anticipation, a sense of history in the making permeates the air, weaving through the tapestry of petaled hope and thorned anxiety. A throne stands upon a fulcrum, ready for the delicate dance of words and actions that will reshape its narrative. The world watches, hearts beating in sync with the ticking clocks that design history's stage, waiting to hear a king speak for a future crafted not just by throne and scepter, but by a nation poised for the land it might become. The moment of reckoning has arrived. With the eyes of both the nation and history upon him, King Charles must confront his destiny. Amidst fears and hopes, one irrevocable decision remains. Will the truth be revealed, or will the crown's secrets be its eternal burden? Inside the grand hall, opulence seems to buckle under the electric tension. The room brims with dignitaries, family, the relentless scrutiny of the press, and more abstractly, with centuries of tradition and expectation. A tide of anticipation swells silently as King Charles, always the epitome of composed authority, steps forward. But today, the veil of regal composure cannot fully mask the torrent of emotion stirring beneath his calm exterior. His presence commands attention, yet it is the shadows at the corners of his eyes that betray his internal strife, an ethereal battle between the man and the monarch. Charles pauses, drawing in a breath that seems to absorb the atmosphere's weight. His sweeping gaze collects the faces before him, each reflecting a spectrum of emotion. Loyal supporters brim with hopeful anticipation, eyes alight with faith in his benevolence. Cynical corners of the press harbor suspicious curiosity, poised to spin whatever words may follow into fodder for public debate. Family members stand torn between personal loyalty and the unforgiving glare of their duty. Across this divide, Charles witnesses the stakes laid out before him, intimate yet colossal. As he begins to speak, each word is a delicate, deliberate act. His voice, usually a bastion of unwavering authority, now weaves a tapestry of sincerity and vulnerability. He lays his tormented soul bare before the congregation, sharing glimpses of the burdens that have, till now, been his solitary companions. His words are confessions and promises, a poignant blend that clutches at the hearts of those listening. His speech ascends to a crescendo, a moment in which the weight of legacy and the promise of an uncharted future hangs in delicate balance. Then, the choice, in a breath that seems to stretch time itself, Charles announces the verdict of his conscience. Will he preserve the sanctity of secrecy that cloaks the crown and its mystique, or will he break the chains of bygone tradition to herald an era brimming with unfiltered truth? His decision echoes through the hall, a declaration as firm as the stones that encase them. Applause thunders, reverberating off ornate ceilings, and some gasp, the rest of the nation caught in a riot of emotion. Shock mingles with the sound of hope unleashed, and the ramifications sweep swiftly through the country, touching each heart it meets. As the echoes of his speech reverberate, one thing becomes clear: the crown has found its king, yet the true test of his reign is only just beginning.